Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Long time no see. Got more to say to you today on the Chad Prather Show, so welcome. Didn't get it all out of my system this morning on Dear America, but I hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. Maybe you can wake up from your little siesta, your post-lunch siesta. Brianna Morello just texted me with a question. It's not an important one. It is an important one. Just not one I can answer when it's got 3 seconds left on the countdown clock. Start the show. Was it DEI? I'm sitting here watching that plane crash yesterday, and the more I've watched this, I have some thoughts that we will discuss. And I know people read the title and they see the thumbnail and they immediately get ticked off because they're like, you're jumping to conclusions. You're going to, these people are getting hurt. Yeah, I know people are getting hurt. That's the problem. We would like to avoid that. You need to check out Striker J's Morning Mumbles. I think he did about 45 minutes. He's still uploading to Rumble. He got some things to talk about on that deal. I'm watching this thing again. We'll break it down. I wish we could show it to you, but we can't. You know why? Because YouTube, the grand overlords, the Google overlords over at YouTube, they'll shut us down. They'll shut us down if we show real life happening. Thank God nobody was hurt more than what happened. We're certainly praying for those people who are still seriously injured. In many reports, critically injured. You know what? Let me get Royce on here. Royce, pop on here. America's favorite producer, Royce. There he is.
Hello.
Let's do a little check real quick. Pull up that website, Red Pill Chad. Let's see if they got that. Got a new little design up there. Let's see if he got it on there. I want everybody to see redpillchad.com. We got a new Gulf of America shirt that if it's not, literally we were just talking about this. Let's see if it's up there. You got it? Not yet. But we got our weaponized common sense. No, don't go to that one. You got to go back to my page. Don't click back right there. You got to click back. Now, see, you went to the home page. You just got to do Red Pill Chat. So Todd and Megan and everybody were all there. That's mine right there with my little logo at the top. So we got the Doge shirt. We got the 1776 bitches, which is an old favorite, but that's a new design. We got the Unburdened, Make America Pray Again. Real women aren't men. But, yeah. A lot of stuff you can check out over there. But go back over there and check in a little while, and we'll see if they got the new Gulf of America T-shirt up there. A lot of that shirts, is, man. Yeah. So it's we did a lot of original art with my buddy Ray Hubbard. A lot of those skulls and pinups and things like that. We got some cool stuff. But real talk, we got a lot to get into. Man, you know what? It's not a party without Party Foul Steve. So let's bring him on here too. I feel like he's left out. Jump in here, Party Foul Steve. We're still going with that.
I'm jumping in. Hey, I need a size large in every one of those shirts, so I can have something else to wear. I'm running out of shirts fast.
I bet you do. Redpillchad.com. You click on it. That's it. Redpillchad.com.
I like the pinup ones.
I love the pinup ones. Yeah, Ray Hubbard, El Ray. If you're not following him, El Ray Artist over on Instagram. He's got some fun stuff. It can be a little risque, but it's a lot of fun. Some of that Western Bohemian art. A little risque. I like it. But welcome to the Chad Prather Show, guys. Thanks for jumping on here. We're just going to kind of have a little stream of consciousness here because I'm going to trigger some people. I got some thoughts, and I'm not afraid to say the quiet parts out loud. I'll say the things that other people are wondering about, but you don't want to admit it because it's not, whatever. I think at this stage in the game, we got to ask all the questions. We got airplanes and big airplanes. We're not talking about small aircraft. That happens quite often, actually, more times than is reported where there's small aircraft accidents and incidents and tragedies. But the big airplanes, that's big commercial airliners. That's a big deal. And I'm going to share some insight that I think I've got. But do me a favor, click like if you are in the Chad Prather Rumble. Click like over there on the video as well as share it, subscribe, and please just do me this favor. Do me a favor. You know what I checked this morning? The Dear America podcast was ranked in news commentary. It was ranked 68th. You know where I was ranked? You know where the Chad Prather Show was ranked?
67th.
Number one.
86th. 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 We were like 55, 45 or something like that a couple of weeks ago. What you got to do is you got to go over to Apple Podcasts, and I know there are going to be people who do, I don't use Apple. Okay, you don't have to announce it. Just go over there and on Spotify, Apple, whatever, hit play and listen to my voice, my soothing voice. You could sit there at night and I could say, precious memories, how they linger. I'll sing you right to sleep with some of your magic mind. Ashwagandha.
I forgot to take it.
Ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha. I like that word.
Listen, I like that word too, and it works too. I need to. Who do we got first? We got wellness. We got Birch. Got
Birch Gold.
Birch Gold. Let me do that so we can get into it because I'm chomping at the bits, man. Chomping at the bits. I got to quit looking at this plane go down because I got questions. Can't wait to talk to a couple of my pilot friends about this thing because I can see what happened. But why did it happen? That's the question. Text Chad to 989898. Let Birch Gold help solidify your future retirement savings. They'll do that with an IRA 401k that's backed by gold, actual precious metals, tangible things that have value. Probably more gold than they got in Fort Knox. We'll see what happens if they ever get to audit it. But I want you to head over there, and they will send you a free, no obligation information kit. Help you find out if Birch Gold is right for you, and I bet they are. I believe in them. Party Foul Steve believes in them. Text Chad to 989898. People say it doesn't work. I tried to text and it didn't go through. The phone number is 989898, and you text in the text body. Like if my number is 940-235, whatever, then you that would be the number. 989898. Text Chad. Get the information, okay? Support the people that support us. And you know what they like to do? They like to see those requests come in. So do that for me, okay? And yes, I do have pants on today. I have pants on today.
Thank goodness.
I got up this morning, Royce, and I went through a week of just real laziness where I didn't change shorts all week long. And I was like, that's not me. I'm not that guy. So I'm
starting to smell.
Well, it wasn't that so much as I just got my pasty white legs hanging out. So
I got shorts on, but ain't nobody gonna see my legs.
Ain't nobody gonna see them legs, man.
Ain't nobody gonna see them.
Ain't nobody gonna see them legs. All right. So my friend, Buzz Patterson. He carried the nuclear football. You need to follow him on X. He's fantastic. He tells a lot of stories about the Clinton White House. He knows that because he carried the nuclear football for Bill Clinton for 2 years. He lived in the White House and literally lived in the White House. And he retired Air Force, and then he was a Delta pilot, Delta captain, until he retired. I think 16 years he retired from Delta. He told me last year, and you can go back and do a search for the episode, Chad Prather, Buzz Patterson, do a little search on YouTube. You can watch it. He told me last year, because I asked him point blank, I said, is DEI a problem with the airlines? He said unequivocally, absolutely yes. No doubt about it. I said, who is the worst airline for DEI? Now, me personally, I thought it would be United. I fly United 90% of the time because United was putting the rainbows on the side of the plane. They were talking about the DEI stuff. They were talking about they had the guy that was a cross-dresser who was the CEO dancing around in his little mini skirt. They were pretty woke, right? And so I fully thought with the initiatives that they put out that he would have said United. He said Delta, the people that he retired from. He said Delta. He said, now to qualify that, he said Delta's still the best airline. And I said, how does that work? And he goes, well, he said they had built a standard that was so good, it's just taking them a longer time to crash the plane, so to speak, to come down. But he said there's no doubt about it that Delta is the worst. Now, this plane that crashed in Toronto is a Delta plane. And the initial reports, here's the thing, guys. I want to say this. Don't ever believe the initial reports. Just don't ever believe the initial reports. There's more to it than that. I'll tell you another way that you can spot propaganda or fake news is when they use extreme language, like so-and-so issues a blistering report. Like, you don't use the word blistering. Nobody says the word blistering. That's the kind of crap we do to get you to click on it. That's the kind of stuff that Royce does. To just lure you in. To lure you.
It's not clickbait.
It's not clickbait. And let me say this.
But you got to make it exciting,
Yeah, you do. You got to make it sticky. You got to make it sticky. It's got to be like cheese in a mousetrap, man. You got to have that stinky cheese. something that you want to click on, and then you come on here and you want to argue with me about it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But we got you. The trap has snatched you. Got you by the neck. We got you like a little mouse, and we paw you back and forth.
Yeah, that's like bait, click, trap.
Wow. But here's the thing. Clickbait, let me qualify before I go back to Delta. Clickbait is when you click on something that is not what was advertised. Okay, it's not what was advertised. Just because it has ads in it or whatever.
The whole article's covered up by ads. You have
you
to.
Know what? It's not my fault that you sit there and look at porn, Steve, and mess up your whole your little firewall, and now you got all these ads that pop up.
Your Wi-Fi here goes straight to porn. I don't know what the deal is.
That's insane. That's not. Are you telling me that my Wi-Fi set up the porn homepage? No, porn's illegal in Texas. We don't even have it.
Okay.
We don't even have it. So fake news. But it ain't clickbait if it delivers what it promises, all right? We're going to deliver what we promise. We're going to talk about DEI. Was this a DEI issue with this plane crash? Now, to that point, when they use extreme language, it's propaganda, borderline fake news, but the extreme terminology. But when they start talking about the initial reports, that's the news' way of saying we don't have a clue what we're talking about right now. We're going to speculate based off of the lack of information that we have. The reason we have conspiracy theories is because there's a media vacuum. There's an information vacuum, and our brains rush to fill it with questions. So they don't have the information. But now, see, like yesterday, this video of the plane coming in, it looks like it was taken by another pilot sitting in the cockpit of another aircraft. It's a real clear shot of that. And it comes down, hits hard, the rear landing gear collapses. Now, the initial reports were that they were in a 40-mile-an-hour crosswind. I landed in Vegas 2 weeks ago in a 40-mile-an-hour crosswind. It ain't fun, okay? It was not fun. And I've seen planes do some amazing things and pilots do some amazing things with those planes in crazy winds. I've also landed numerous times in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, which is the shortest international runway, where they literally drop you in the valley between the mountains, and that is harrowing experience if you're not ready for it. It's pretty bad when you are ready for it. But this thing, it crumpled underneath. When I see that happen, the issue that I have more than anything with these airlines is not the pilots per se. I don't care about the gay guy that's serving me drinks. And 99% of male flight attendants, we all know. I don't care about the girl that's way past retirement and barely fits down the aisle that's working the serving the food. Flight attendants used to be flight attendants. I liked it back when they were stewardesses. Now you can't say stewardess. Can't say that. Now you got flight attendants. And you know what? Kudos to them. These people are trained not to serve you drinks, but to save your life. Now, Betty Boop, this is big around as she is tall, ain't saving a whole lot of lives, but they are supposed to be trained for that. I digress. Now, if you're still with me here, it's not necessarily the pilots, although the other day I got on the plane and, guy comes over the loudspeaker, the PA, and he's speaking a foreign language. I think he was attempting English every fourth word. And I go, you just can't help. Just help but go, oh, what are we doing right now? That's probably the guy actually I should trust more than the guy that speaks perfectly good English. That H-1B visa. Those guys are smart. So I'm just saying, they come up there, we're going to be 30,000. Nobody knows what you're saying. Nobody knows what you're saying. Those aren't the people I worry about. Here's the people I worry about. The people turning the ratchets, the sockets, the nuts, the bolts, the people who are making sure the screws aren't loose, the people that making sure the wires are connected, that there's nothing frayed, that there's nothing, the hydraulics work, that the oil has been put in the oily places, and the air pressure is in the places where pressure belongs.
They're called mechanics.
Those are the people. The people who check the seals around the doors to make, I saw a thing the other day where there was the window blew out. Like the window broke out of the thing. I was in an American Airlines plane. Royce, you like American, right?
Yeah, I fly American.
Party foul Steve and I, we used to fly American 99% of the time when we were going out of DFW. Every day we flew American. Every day, literally every day. Our commutes were airplanes. We loved them. They were great. We had status there. We were as high as you could go. Concierge key. It was fantastic. Other day, I get on an American airline. I rarely fly them anymore because I'm based out of Houston now. That's a United hub. I'm feeling air hit me, and I'm feeling the little knobby thing that you can close and do the thing. I'm feeling it, and it's closed off. There's no air. I'm freezing. And I look at the top above the window in the little crevice, the little corner right there where the wall becomes the ceiling in the fuselage, and there's a crack. Like there's a crack in the plastic, the vinyl. And I wasn't worried about it because, there's layer after layer after layer in these aircrafts. But air was coming through it, and it was hitting me, and I was freezing. Well, then the whole front of the plane, I was sitting in first class, the whole front of the plane, I look over at the woman next to me. I said, "Are you like freezing to death?" She goes, "I'm dying." I looked at the flight attendant, and I said, "Anything we can do?" She goes, "No, there's nothing we can do because the back of the plane is burning up." And I go, "Come on." And she goes, "I'm serious." I said, "I'm going back there. I'm going to thaw out." So I get out of row one. I'm on the far right side there. I'm 1E, and I walk to the back of the plane. Royce, I'm telling you, it was a 30-degree difference. I stayed in the back of the plane by the lavatory as long as I could. It felt like I was standing next to a fire. It was like, How does that happen? How does that happen? Now, I want to break it down for you guys. You're in a metal tube that's pressurized at 32 to 38,000 feet, typically. That thing in that pressurized air is recirculating through their hip, their whatever system, and make sure that you're supposedly not breathing everybody else's funk. Good luck with that. But you are at the mercy. You ever let it cross your mind? I'm in the stratosphere. I'm in the lower levels of outer space, and I'm up here in a pressurized metal tube. I hope everybody knows what they're doing. I hope the person that checked the box and said this deal's airworthy was doing their job, was paying attention, didn't have a fight with their wife this morning. And God forbid, there's somebody that didn't get hired in order to just fill a quota. Like, they were the best. They were the best. Not a guy who's waiting on retirement. And again, nothing against anybody that I'm characterizing in regard to that, as long as you are doing your job. Guys, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of days, sometimes I just mail it in. Sometimes that happens. I don't want that to be the person.
I mail it in every day. What are you talking about?
I don't want to be
I've
that.
been mailing life in.
I don't want that to be the guy that's wrapping duct tape around the aileron.
You don't want me working on your airplane.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Party Foul Steve would be the absolute worst in a deal like that. But I'd
be on time, though.
You'd be early. Party Foul Steve is the world's worst about getting to the airport. He wants to get there 4 hours early.
A lot of alcohol needs to be drank before you fly.
He cannot stand the idea of being late to anything. So, got to be early. On time all the time except some of the time, and then he's ahead of time. And when he's ahead of time, it's by hours. I can't tell you how many times he's like, "Well, we might as well just go on to the airport." I'll get up in the morning at the hotel, wherever we are on the road, and I don't even have to text him. I just walk downstairs when I'm ready, walk out of the hotel. He's sitting in a truck waiting. It is cranked and sitting at the front door. He's ready to go. He's been there since 6 o'clock this morning. So was this a DEI thing? Don't know. I do know that plane, there was apparently some miscommunication in terms of air traffic control. We still don't know what happened with the flight that crashed in D.C. with the collision with the Black Hawk helicopter. We'll see if, I was thinking about this the other day. I don't want to let any of this stuff just get swept under the rug. It is a serious thing when you have these people who immediately, listen closely to me, folks. I'm going to say something I think profound. I think to me it's profound and something to consider. When you have people who are that quick to blame Donald Trump, who's been in office for just 4 weeks, and say this is his fault. A plane crashes in Toronto and it's Donald Trump's fault. It's this FAA. It's this getting rid of DEI people, laying off unskilled people that aren't merit-based. Whenever they're that quick to do that, well, then I'm going to be real quick to ask, what are you hiding? Because if you got to immediately play the blame game, then I want to know what it is that you know is faulty, that's shoddy, that has not been carried out with excellence. We all know the Biden administration was asleep at the wheel. I mean, this dude, he was absentee, and so were his people. I mean, Lloyd Austin disappeared for 4 days. Nobody knew he was getting a medical procedure done on his rear end. Pete Buttigieg, the Secretary of Transportation, he was gone for 3 or 4 months, chest feeding his baby. These people were missing in action. They were AWOL. And don't even get me started with Joe Biden sitting out there on the Rehoboth Beach. And here's the difference. People say, oh, Donald Trump is on the golf course. Yeah, Donald Trump is always surrounded by people that he's talking to. You can do business on the golf course. Trust me, I've done a lot of business on the golf course.
Didn't Trump, what was it that he stopped while golfing? He tweeted out something.
Yeah, he tweeted from the third hole the other day, that whole, that big old own that he did. And here's the thing. He takes senators out there, Congress members out there. He's out there dealing with staffers. He's dealing with cabinet members. He's out there getting business done. You can get a lot of business done on the golf course. When you saw Joe Biden might have been reading some notebook or something, holding it, but he's sitting there by himself. You never saw Joe Biden surrounded by people on the beach. You always see Donald Trump surrounded by people. I don't care if you play golf. I don't care if you go to the beach. But I hope that whatever you're doing is some pretty productive time, or at least you're available for that. Buzz Patterson told me a story about when he was with Bill Clinton, and Bill Clinton was going to the U.S. Open. And when he got there, he said, Secretary of Defense calls him on the phone and says, we got to get the president on the phone. The Syrians are about to bomb the Kurds, and Bill Clinton couldn't be bothered for it. And long story short, ended up bombing the crap out of the Kurdish villages. And Bill Clinton, after 3 calls from the Secretary of Defense, never would take the call. And when they could have called that off. He just let those people die. So this kind of stuff, that type of deal, I got a problem with that. I don't care if you go to the golf course. I don't care if you dadgum strip club. Get the work done. Be available when the work's done. Joe Biden wasn't available. So was it DEI? Don't know. But can't say it wasn't. I just know that when they immediately start blaming Donald Trump, there's something they're trying to hide. Any thoughts on that, boys? I know I rambled long.
No, I looked at the video earlier, and it kind of looks like, to me, it just kind of the coming in for a landing, the back end was a little low and the wing tipped over, because those wings are kind of further back on that aircraft, and once it hit, it's over.
Yeah.
Well, from my perspective, over the last 4 to 6 years, when everything that goes wrong can be traced back to DEI, how can we not assume going forward?
It's DEI.
It's DEI. On some level, somewhere, I believe it's caused by DEI.
DEI. You can't. Somebody came at me the other day. I mentioned this morning on Dear America, and they're like, "You believe me?" If you Google how DEI has affected the airline industry in America, you're going to get an AI response, because I've done this. You're going to get an AI. You know how now these days Google is answering you with an AI summary. And it says specifically that there's no way to prove that DEI has single-handedly contributed to any air accidents or problems.
Well, that's stupid, because when I look at DEI, I'm not exactly saying they're hiring women, black people, Asians, Indian. I don't know. That's not what it is.
People that can't read,
exactly.
And blind people, which is who Biden was pushing for. So yeah.
Yes, and that is what the push for DEI was. But the overall effect of DEI is the standard of person lowered. Yeah. I don't care if you are a straight white man and you are stupider than someone who would have been hired 5 years before. Then that's the cause of DEI.
Yeah.
If they're hiring people with lower qualifications because the DEI standards had to be lowered, just like the military, we see it over and over. They lowered their standards so women and transgender people can perform, quote unquote, perform tasks that were performed by a much higher standard in the past. That's the effect of DEI, not because they're a different race, different culture, but because the standard has been lowered, allowing another group of people, no matter where they come from, a lower standard group of people to come in and run everything.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's every field. That's in your hospitals, your nurses, your doctors, everything. The people that are taking care of our lives, the ones that
The
are
people
flying
that build my sub at Subway are a lower quality of people than they were 5 years ago. Just saying.
That's
You know what? Listen, when I'm at the self-checkout line at the Kroger, I'm disappointed in my own service. So, yeah, listen, I mean, when I got roofied at the midget convention in Boston, you know, I was having drinks with a girl. She was a heart surgeon, about 2.5 feet tall. But she seemed really competent. Like, she knew her stuff. They put her on a little hydraulic lift and lifted her up, and they had little utensils for her hands. I'd have let her operate on me. You know, if she's going to do open heart surgery on me, she probably would have needed an extra pair of little small hands to pick up my big old heart. But
I bet they didn't lower the standards.
but I didn't want her to be a surgeon because she was a little person. I don't mind that she's a little person as a heart surgeon. I just didn't want her to be hired because she was a little person.
Yeah.
So when I commented about this on Sunday, somebody said, "You're just not happy unless it's a straight white man." I mean, basically.
No, but that's not.
I know
the
a lot
problem.
of straight.
It's
Listen,
the
it's not the
standards
problem.
lowered.
I'm being facetious, but I know a lot of straight white men who are incompetent. Steve, do you have a comment?
No, not really. I can't agree more. I agree with you. There's some things I'm good at. There's some things that you don't want me in charge of.
And yes, Kendra, I was at the midget convention in Boston. I'll tell you about it sometime. But I didn't go to that.
And you were
I just,
roofied.
Yeah. You know, you wake up tied down to the bed like Gulliver on the beach, you know, just Lilliputians running all over the place. Apparently, I had a good time under the rainbow. It's a lot of fun, man. That convention, man, you walk through that lobby, it was like somebody kicked an anthill, man. They were everywhere. If you wanted a couple of them, you just run your hand through there like a minnow bucket and just pick up 4 or 5 of them. They wiggle. It's good times.
I need to quit. You need to quit telling me that. I always have dreams the next day.
I know. It's a bucket list thing you didn't know you had. It's a bucket list item you didn't know you had.
I didn't even know I had it.
Yeah, I wanted to, you try to have an orgy with a bunch of little people, and you put 9 of them in one king-size bed, and they can't find each other. All right, when it comes to protecting yourself and your family, you need the right tools for the job. We were talking about our firearms this morning. We were pulling out our collection this morning on Dear America before the show. I trust my good friends over at Modern Warriors. I'm excited that they're a part of the show now. I love these guys. These are good folks. ModernWarriors.com. They're the one-stop shop for all things tactical. And I mean tactical. They got some cool stuff, and they'll take care of you. Massive online selection of firearms, suppressors, accessories, which reminds me, Party Foul Steve, we got to go to the gunsmith. I got 3 suppressors that need to go on 3 different firearms, and I need the right attachment. No, don't say the word gun. Don't say the word gun. I'm just kidding. You can. So they got the high-end builds. They got your everyday carry, over 800 5-star Google reviews, customer service. It speaks for itself. They're excellent. Right now, you can get 10% off your first order. Look at that gun. Look how pretty that is. Look at that thing. Dude, what is that? I got the lights in my face. Go. Oh, man, it's changed. That looked like is that an MK? I don't think it is. Smith, zoom in on that thing. Oh, it's an Apache with a red dot. And somebody's going shopping here in a minute. All right, 10% off your first order when you use promo code CHAD. I spell it, Chad. At checkout, save on the gear you need. Go to modernwarriors.com today. Browse their selection. Use code Chad and experience why Modern Warriors is unlike any other firearms dealer. Modern Warriors, your tactical specialist. Again, go to modernwarriors.com and use promo code Chad. Save 10%. I hope you guys. I'm not as keyed up when I do this afternoon show. I get kind of keyed up with you guys in the morning on Dear America. So I hope people enjoy just kind of let's just chill a little bit and make fun of people. Now, if you don't believe me on the DEI thing with Delta, if you're still asking questions, shaking your head saying, tisk, tisk, Chad, not only were you violated by little people in Boston that required a step stool to get to your nuggets. Well, we were at McDonald's. It was built right into the hotel and convention center. In case you're wondering about my own bad behaviors of the past, let me just tell you about Delta again. This is pinned. This video is pinned. Pinned. You know what that means? It's the one you see when you go to their TikTok. It's the video at the top. This is their
More
value.
so, it's the one they want you to see.
It's the one
on
they
top of
want you
that.
to see. They're proud of this. So if you pin something to the top of your profile, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, or your Twitter, X, whatever, this is the one where, like, I'm proud of this one. Like, if you go to Sarah Gonzalez, at Sarah Gonzalez TX on Twitter, she's got her interview with Tucker Carlson at the top. It's been there for a year and a half. All right, she's proud of it. This is what Delta wants you to see about them. Play it. Here we go.
Did somebody say slave?
Yeah. That's their little...
Yeah, see, they're more focused on being trans, gay, queer, whatever, than they are piloting our plane.
Let me
That's
ask
the
you guys
problem.
a question. How many of you guys during COVID were pissed when all the nurses and doctors were making videos in the middle of a so-called pandemic? When they were making dance videos, that was the rage. Everybody was supposedly dying while you said goodbye to grandma through the plexiglass and she died alone in the back of the nursing home. Like, that should piss you off, but they're out there twirling around in their scrubs. This is the equivalent of that to me. I don't care about your dance moves. I don't care about the color of your skin. I don't care where you've put your nether regions. I don't care what you're bumping.
Show me maintenance skills.
I need to see that airplane stay in the air. I need to see it land safely. That airplane didn't land safely. There's an error somewhere. Now, could it just be a general malfunction that something broke when that thing landed? Well, see, that's the thing about airplanes. That ain't supposed to happen. Now, again, to your point, Royce, you were like, it can't be the safest way of travel anymore. Well, it's causing us to ask some questions, but I will say this. It's still the safest way to travel statistically. Statistically. How many people, Steve, how many people die on America's highways every day?
I think it's 120 a day down U.S. highways.
Steve knows.
All right, so sure, maybe it still is the safest over cars, okay? But my real question is there a safe way to travel?
No.
No, there is not a safe way to travel.
So just stay at home, stay in your basement.
Just saying. That's not what I'm saying, but
Statistically safer. But you know what? Let's go one step further. Let me show you a clip of DEI. The View, the Spew, the Witches of the Spew. This is what Whoopi had to say today. And now to me, when you're pooling your ignorance, because if these women put their heads together to try to get a collective thought, it would sound like a bowling alley. So I want you to see what Whoopi, this is arguably the dumbest thing Whoopi Goldberg has ever said. And trust me, she has said some dumb things. Some dumb things. Play it.
Put up with it.
Well,
and by the way, egg prices are supposed to come down, not airplanes.
Well, let me say someplace that could really use a lot of cutting.
Here we go.
You know, yeah.
Elon
has very many, what do you call it?
Government contracts?
Yeah. I think, because I don't remember, maybe y'all heard it, but I don't remember looking for an armored car.
And
I don't remember, I don't care what it looks like. I don't remember asking for it. I don't know why I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
I want to know, when did I say, hey, we need another agency next to NASA?
Yeah.
So when did we start paying for his stuff?
You're talking about SpaceX overseeing FAA?
No. You know that he's going to be cutting NASA.
Yeah.
That's the competition. So what is the real deal here?
Money.
If we want to cut some money, let's cut some of these.
Follow
I'm
the
okay
money.
with that.
Wasn't that done under Joe Biden?
And no, well, Joe
I thought some
Biden.
contracts were signed under Joe Biden.
Joe Biden gave $400 million for armored trucks to Elon Musk, and Rachel Maddow, who. You ever notice Rachel Maddow, how she delivers something when she sees something? She's like, I can't believe I'm reading this right now. And then she starts to cry. Easy on the theatrics, whatever, lurch. That was Biden. Trump didn't give $400 million for armored trucks.
No,
What-
but you know what? Whoopi's actually asking the right questions, though. When did we ask to spend our money on a lot of this stuff? That's exactly what Elon's doing in that position. When did we ask to spend our money on
Yeah.
Ukraine and Gaza and Hamas?
Yeah.
We didn't. She's making a very valid point, just about the wrong thing.
She's just dumb.
So close.
Because what she said was, let me break it down for you. What she said was, why is the government giving contracts to Elon Musk and SpaceX when we already have NASA? Why would we fund SpaceX when that's the competition of NASA? Okay, listen, Whoopi. It's not the competition of NASA. NASA is a federal program run by bureaucrats. It doesn't build anything. NASA, listen, I want to say it slowly. NASA doesn't build anything. They contract people like Boeing and Lockheed and SpaceX to build it for them. So SpaceX, do the math, has literally saved the American taxpayers hundreds of billions of dollars in expenditures by doing the work. They've literally put the money in the pocket of the American people because they're more efficient than if you were letting bureaucrats make the decisions and do the engineering. So she doesn't have a clue what she's talking about. But she thought she had it. She thought she had that aha gotcha moment. And she has no clue what she's talking about. See, these
Also,
people,
where did her eyebrows go?
she's always shaved them off. She's never had
They're
them.
gone.
She's never
They're
had them.
gone, man.
I think the smartest thing she ever did was change her last name to Goldberg so she get parts in Hollywood.
She's got to double down, right?
Yeah.
She's already a female. She's black, arguably lesbian, and she's
Arguably.
Can you imagine? But Whoopi's never had eyebrows. Her eyebrows couldn't stay close to that stupid brain. They had to get away too. But there you go. But NASA doesn't build anything, Whoopi. NASA's never built anything. They contract out to people like SpaceX. Don't forget, Elon Musk, and once again, let me qualify this. I don't agree with everything with Elon Musk. I never have. I'm on record years ago talking about I don't like the transhumanism. I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like those deals. So I'm very cautious and very wary. But it seems to me like he and his Aspergers have gotten pretty singularly focused on saving the American taxpayer some money and finding out where the waste and the corruption is. So I'm all for it. I'd give him a little smack on the butt, little tip of the cap, and say, go to work, son, because he's doing it. He has saved people billions of dollars, and they loved him. They loved him when he was the electric cars, the Sheryl Crows of the world. Go out to Hollywood. Go out to West Hollywood. Go to Beverly Hills. Go out there and get up in those Hollywood hills. You know what? Everybody's driving those electric cars. They worshipped him. They were
loved him when he
demanding.
was a Democrat.
They loved him. They loved him. When he was saving the planet, when everything was all about, we got to get it. Now nobody's pushing Teslas anymore. They're the biggest sales with these, I mean, forget, the batteries burning and the $50,000 it costs to replace them. But Whoopi Johnson over here, oh, you just said that, David. Whoopi Johnson, she changed her name in order to get acting work. That's true. Goldberg.
Yeah. I spit facts. Sometimes.
I mean, let me jump into this.
I mean, this is coming from a bartender off a spaceship, so what do you expect?
I always forget that she was on Star Trek. I always forget. They should.
I actually liked her in that. That's like sad what she's became.
Yeah, she's a Karen. You're right, Karen Johnson. You didn't know that, did you? That's Whoopi's real name. She's a Karen.
Her real name is Karen Johnson.
Yeah,
and she changed it to Whoopi Goldberg.
To get work.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So she could at least get the interview. She could get the,
Let me say I love our sponsors. I really do. I'm thankful for our sponsors, but beyond being thankful for them that make the show possible, I love them. So we got some good ones, like the folks over at Patriot Protect. There's no reason why anybody here should not sign up with Patriot Protect. It's amazing what I can do on AI just on my cell phone. I mean, the stuff you can create, the stuff that you can find out. The cyber thieves out there, they're not just stealing your identity or even just doing like home equity or home title theft. They're not doing stuff like that. They're sweeping the internet, scouring the internet deep into the web. You know how your phone's listening to you all the time. I mean, you're like, man, I really need some duct tape. And the next thing you know, you got a thing from Ace Hardware that pops up on your phone. They're listening. So if you're getting the phishing calls, the spam calls, Party Foul Steve, he's like, I can go find, Steve's always like, I can find your address right here on the internet. Party Foul Steve's always searching people out. I can find their phone number. Yeah, I know, dude. You're just weird, man, that you do all that kind of stuff. Your stuff's out there. You can take your privacy back with patriot-protect.com/Chad. They will stop the scams, keep you private, and they will scour the internet to make sure that your information is swept off of there. And they'll do it for $5 a month. There's literally no reason whatsoever. Every one of you should have patriot-protect.com/Chad. And people go, well, how can Party Foul Steve find you? He just thinks he can. I throw out those little breadcrumbs, man. No, I have it. You should have it. It works. Patriot-protect.com/Chad. $5 a month. Your family's safety is absolutely worth it. You got kids? You got stuff you want to protect? Get it. All right. Well, guess what Trump's doing in the Oval Office? Any clues? What do you think Trump's doing? We know he's working, but Trump's going Trump, man. He's reportedly been showing guests that visit where Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky had sex.
He's probably got it taped off. He's probably got it taped off. Be like, don't walk there. It's a nasty spot. We don't like that spot.
You know what happened over here, right? You know what happened?
You'll never guess it.
I'll tell you what happened. It's going to happen. It happened.
It's going to happen. What?
It's going to happen. Yeah. Kendra is caught up on that midget convention. We went to the midget convention with the Texas Rangers, the baseball team, not the law enforcement agency, and that's what was going on in the hotel. But yeah, Trump reportedly keeps showing why. I mean, why wouldn't you?
You see that stain? Don't touch it. Yeah. Don't touch it. You don't want to touch that.
Get under the blue
They
dress.
couldn't get it out. Toxic stuff right there.
I love that. I love that. I love the troll aspect to Trump. I think the guy's amazing. I would have run through a wall for him just because he's just a dude. Just a dude. Anybody that was going to hang. Now, you guys remember, Royce, you wouldn't, but Party Foul Steve, you remember, and some of you in the chat remember back my old set on the Blaze, my big set. We had the Party Foul pub and everything over there. And what was hanging by it? I had that mug shot. I had my mug shot hanging in the framed picture on the wall there. I love that right outside the Oval Office, all those reporters have to walk right past Trump's glare in his mugshot. Yeah, the thing framed.
It's beautiful.
I think it's great. I wonder Whiskey Sours, I wonder where that blue dress is. I wonder where that blue dress is.
Probably in the Smithsonian or something.
It ain't in the Clinton Library in Little Rock, I can tell you that, buddy. It ain't there. All right. Just in, the full list of Republicans on the Declassification and Transparency Task Force has been released. And listen, I like these people. You know, Anna Paulina, she's the chairwoman of this. Nancy Mace from South Carolina, Tim Burchett, Tennessee, Lauren Boebert, my girlfriend, Colorado. Eric Burleson, Missouri. Lauren knows. Call me. We've talked. You know, we chat every now and then. Eli Crane, Arizona, and Brandon Gill, my buddy from Texas. Brandon he's so awesome, dude. Sarah Gonzalez had dinner with his wife last night. I wondered if they talked about me. They didn't, but I wondered. Here's the problem: we don't need a task force. I appreciate this, but this is just government doing government things. I don't like it. I don't need a task force to tell me what I'm allowed to see. Just release it. Just release it. I got eyes.
Is it only Republicans that are on this?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I don't understand the red tape. Well, because Democrats don't want it to come out because they're on the list, obviously.
Well, it's like hot seat Todd says. It's going to be so redacted. You'll see a couple of ands and buts and 2, 4 ends with and buys, but by and large, you're not going to see a whole lot of stuff there.
That's not transparency.
It's not transparency.
Man, I want to know if aliens came down and shot JFK and all that stuff.
Ate his brain. You don't have the words declassification and transparency and task force in the same sentence, okay? That is, but we read through these big words, and it's like, oh, look, we got us a task force. Let me ask you, how many people ever go to work and they say, we're going to put you on a task force, and you're like, yes, more to do. You ever get that jury summons in the mail, and it's like they want to put you on a grand jury to go out there and see what should go to trial, and you're like, I can't wait. They got the best coffee down at the city hall. You don't do that. I don't want another task force. Here's the deal. We want to have declassification and transparency. That's the end of the sentence. What they can say is full list of Republicans on declassification and transparency has released. That's all I need to see. I don't need the word task force in there. Do I make that point? Good. So while I love these people, no. We don't
The
need
task force will soon hold its first hearing.
It's just a waste of time. It's just, more reason to drag things out.
Wait, what? The task force will soon hold its first hearing soon?
Yeah.
Maybe Eric should edit that.
Probably so. I put on this thing, I tweeted it out. I said, we now have a transparency task force to declassify documents, a.k.a. a team of Congress members tasked with deciding what secrets we're allowed to know. Just release the crap. Let's go. I want to see it. And then, of course, Secretary Kristi Noem, she said tonight she's announcing a nationwide and international multi-million-dollar ad campaign warning illegal aliens to leave our country. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have a problem with this too. I don't need an ad campaign.
It actually helps us out if they go ahead and leave. Then
But they're
that's
not.
less money we got to spend on getting them kicked out.
But they're not.
They had the opportunity.
But they're not, Steve. They're not. They're not going to do it. And let me tell you why this is a waste of time. You know why this is a waste of time? She's basically has built a commercial, multi-million-dollar campaign so she can run these commercials that say, get out of the country now or face deportation with the inability to return to the U.S. So I appreciate the fact that you are making the consequences stronger. But here's why I know this isn't serious. It's in English. It's in English.
You got a point?
Play it.
You got a point?
I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security.
Thank
Thank you, President Donald J. Trump, for securing our border and putting America first. Let me deliver a message from President Trump to the world.
No.
If you are considering entering America illegally, don't even think about it. Let me be clear. If you come to our country and you break our laws, we will hunt you down. Criminals are not welcome in the United States. For too long, weak leadership has left our borders wide open, flooding our communities with
Hey, what's
drugs,
that?
human trafficking, and violent criminals. Well, those days are over. Under President Trump, we are defending American families and restoring their safety. If you try to enter illegally, you will be caught, you will be removed, and you will never return. Follow the law, and you'll find opportunity. If you break it, you'll find consequences. Strong borders mean a stronger America. President Trump is making America safe again.
I can't anymore with this. Just stop.
Yeah, I
stop.
would like to see Dog the Bounty Hunter on this commercial, though.
My buddy Dog, man. Dog's been on the show a few times, and he'll get you. He'll come get you. Yeah. You know what I want to hear? I mean, Kristi Noem, you know what that sounded like even with that little music behind there? It sounds like, thank you for flying the friendly skies. Please turn your attention to the front of the aircraft, where we will lead you through a safety demonstration. Thank you for making American Airlines. Like, I know, just say, here's what you do. Get the hell out! That's what you say. Get out! And if you come back, yaga!
Yeah.
And then you do it in 17 different languages.
I was going to say it's got to be in a lot of different languages.
Vámonos! I think, yeah. Arriba!
What I don't understand about this is why do we have to put out an ad to tell people not to come here? Why don't we just kick them out and close the borders?
Do you know?
Don't let them in.
Don't let them in. And it is down 86%. We went from 2,500. My buddy Ben Burkham sent me a video yesterday, posted it over on his X. Nobody's doing more work than Ben Burkham out there. I mean, he's doing a great job. Allie Landry's doing a great job too. But Ben, he's like, dude, and he was showing these encounters down on the Rio Grande. And he said, can you imagine? He said, as bad as this video still is, can you imagine how bad it was in the heyday whenever Biden was in office? So I read the report today. It said we went from like 2,700 daily arrests on the border to now we're down to like 700 a day.
Dude, it feels like a fever dream thinking back to when Biden was in office.
Yeah.
God, I'm so glad that dude's gone. That was crazy.
They wanted to destroy. They funded an invasion. That's what USAID was. USAID, I have no doubt about it. I talked to Larry Taunton. He was trending yesterday on X. I talked to him 3 times yesterday because he's literally in danger. I'm like, he has reason to believe that his life is in danger from our own government because of the stuff he exposed in Cairo with the USAID. But the USAID has been funded by taxpayer dollars, run by, in many cases, the CIA. And who knows what they're doing? Who knows what they're doing? The USAID is kind of like, Samaritan's Purse, right? Franklin Graham's organization, the charitable organization that shows up whenever it's time to save people from a disaster because you don't want to give to the Salvation Army or the Red Cross. USAID is sort of the federal government's way of doing that globally. But obviously we see that that's not what's happened. They were funding trafficking and the open borders and these people who were
and every
coming
little war that's going, every little civil war, everything that's getting voted on within these countries, we're getting involved in it.
Yeah,
and we're fighting their civil wars with money, putting in power who we want and work.
Now let's talk about the CIA a little bit. I mean, I don't want to get Seth Rich either. I got my eyes in the back of my
They're
head.
delivering that money.
So let's go to this next little slide. So they are running drone operations. Let me just read this to you because this again, the way they word these things, it's another thing that just disturbs me. So the CIA has been covertly flying MQ-9 Reaper drones over Mexico to spy on drug cartels as part of Trump's shift to treat cartels like terror orgs. Here's the thing. That's via CNN. If it's being done covertly,
it's not covert.
It's not covert. Covert means secret, like under the radar. So you got to ask yourself the question: who leaked this to CNN? The CIA. Let me ask you a question. Whenever the feds came and arrested my buddy Roger Stone at 5 o'clock in the morning at his house, who alerted CNN to be there with the camera crews? You see, that's the thing. Not only is the CIA leaking the information about the drones and, quote, covertly flying them to spy on drug cartels, they're also funding the drug cartels. I didn't say it. I just said it.
Yeah, and they didn't just report that there was a drone. They have the exact model of drone that's being covertly. That's a lot of information in that.
Look at that booger. I bet it's never landed upside down.
I know somebody that flies those.
Yeah. Yeah. They do that, though. Again, the reason they leak it is because they don't want the mission to succeed. Now, Mexico's government, apparently their Senate or whatever, has voted to allow special ops, spec operators to come in there, and we'll see what happens. I wouldn't want to be in the cartel shoes right now. I wouldn't want to be in the cartel shoes. But again, it's just like, we're sending money to Israel for the Iron Dome, and then we're sending money to the terrorists that are firing the missiles into the Iron Dome. CJ talked to me on the phone this morning. She goes, "Oh, I'm looking at these trips to Israel." I said, "Good for you. Keep looking."
Yeah, no thanks.
She's like, "It's so beautiful." I said, "I've been there. It is beautiful until they start dropping stuff on the Iron Dome." So yeah,
it's pretty safe though. You think about it. We don't even have an Iron Dome.
You know, and that's the shocking thing, right?
I thought we did.
Yeah.
You thought we had some kind of defense system,
Yeah, I
right?
thought for some, other than just a couple of,
Well, I mean, that
things.
was a part of the de-escalation after the Cold War. That was one of the agreements was we weren't going to build Star Wars.
surely we have it.
Ronald Reagan. No, but I'll tell you what China has. Let me tell you what China has. China has the ability. Now we have capabilities of shooting missiles down, intercepting them, but we don't have an Iron Dome or anything. At least not to my knowledge. We do have that. But here's the thing: China has the ability to send missiles into space, fly them in orbit until they're over you, and then drop them straight down on you. You can't shoot that down. China's got that technology. They use it.
They also own all the pork farms in America. Like 90% of them, they can stop all bacon instantly. Just, boom. No more
That's
bacon.
bad news, man.
Yeah.
They've already taken.
Go look up
they're
who
killing
owns
the chickens. They're
that's-
killing the cows.
It's the Chinese. They're doing it. They're doing it silently. They don't have
We're
to
gonna
drop
be
bombs.
eating the cats and eating the dogs, eating the dogs, the chickens. And why is it that
You'll
the
see
only
who's
people
producing the pork.
the only you're so random. Why is it that the only birds with avian flu are chickens? Like, why don't the sparrows and the hawks and this is just chickens? Help me. China.
I don't know,
miss
but I
the
want
way
my
it
own
says China.
chickens.
What'd you say, Royce?
I want my own chickens. I don't want to buy eggs. I want my own eggs.
Yeah. I like my chickens.
Dinah
That still got a
probably
little
owns the
poop on them.
chickens too. Actually, I think they do own a portion of Tyson, so
Yeah.
it's probably all connected too.
Yeah. Well, you can't physically put an Iron Dome over the U.S. too big. But I mean, we saw what happened under the Biden administration when they floated that spy balloon over the entire United States and over every every major military installation that they could spy on, and then it gets off the eastern seaboard, and then they decide to go up there and shoot it down and say, "Look what we did." So we're not ready. We're not ready. We're not ready.
Nope.
We're not ready.
So I don't want a task force. I don't want a deportation commercial. I don't want the CIA leaking information. I don't know that I want a CIA at this point. I mean, if it's 3 letters, and Cash is going to get his deal here in a couple of hours, so we're praying that Cash gets pushed on through. And then it's going to be Katie bar the door, man. I know we need somebody. We were talking about it on the Dear America show the other day, and I know that we need, Pete Hegseth, because the government exists for your national defense. We need a Pete Hegseth in there, somebody who's serious about war fighters and war fighting. But man, I'm excited about Kash Patel. Don't you let me down, Kay. Don't you let me down, Kay. KP. All right, if you're in the super chat, throw $5 in there. We'll read it off and get down to the brass tacks. We'll talk to you. Anything else, boys? Anything you got to get off your heart, get off your mind? You need to confess your sins? What do you need to do? I'm here to absolve them.
I think I got it all off with the China owning all the pork.
You've been holding on to that in your heart, haven't you?
Yeah, I've read. I was reading today about Smithfield and all that stuff. It's like you're like, what the hell is going on in this country?
I know. Well, they own a ton of land in Texas, that's for sure.
Yeah, they have hog farms on them.
We got 4 super chats. You ready?
I guess so. I guess so. Am I ready? Bad boys. I see you, Striker J. All right, let's do it. I like the shirt. I have one too. Yeah, you do. New Year's Eve. What are you talking about, Chad Prather's Comedy Countdown to 2025. That's right. Tyler, Texas. Shout out to Rose City Comedy Club, Tyler, Texas. My buddy Christopher Blakeman over there. That's his club. It's a great one over in East Texas.
Can't find Red Pill John.
Well,
Word for
Whitney,
me.
you literally just said redpillchad.com. How do we find it? That's the address. Redpillchad.com.
Works
Now,
for
if
me.
you get out, you're gonna get. If you get off of that page, you're gonna be on Garrett's page. You're gonna be on Megan's page. You're gonna be on Spears' page. And I don't mind. Spend your money everywhere. There's a lot of cool stuff. Todd's over there. I think you can go to redpillthreads.com/hot seat.
I don't know.
I don't know. But just mine. I just got my own URL, Red Pill Chat.
Oh, jeez.
Trenton. Are we talking about Royce?
We should just let's do the next one.
Well, you do have a
your
pretty
pretty red
mouth.
lips.
No.
It's a pretty mouth.
That's right, Pickle Squirrel. We've talked about this. This is my old adage. I've said it forever. Don't have a hobby that eats.
I don't get it.
Don't have horses, chickens.
You can eat horses.
Chickens are okay.
People
Chickens,
bitch about
Yeah,
it.
if you can eat it, then come on now.
you could technically eat anything.
Yeah, but like I have a cat. I'm not gonna eat it.
They're eating the cats. Don't take it to Springfield.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Yeah. Pickle Squirrel, new revenue source. ASMR with Chad. Just use the Pilly Talk voice. Lots of money. Royce doesn't know what Pilly Talk is.
I don't.
That's with my gay uncle, my gunkle.
Yeah, you can stop that now. I don't want to hear that anymore.
It's time for Pilly Talk. Roy's got a pretty mouth. Roy's got a pretty mouth. Rosy cheeks
We're
and
not
pretty
doing that.
eyes.
Stop.
That gunkle. That
Ew,
gunkle.
dude. Ew. All right, now read this one.
Everybody need a gunkle. Reticulated chicken mom. I love my chickens, but they do not save me money on eggs. It costs me 58 cents to make an egg. Just to have them. They're worth it. They're wonderful. They are worth it. And you know what? They're better for you.
I was going to say, how many eggs is a meal? Like 3 eggs? You can get a whole meal out of 3 eggs. If you paid $3, if you paid $1 an egg and you got a whole meal for $3, that's really not bad if you think it that way. So I'm saying eggs ain't that expensive.
Hey,
Well,
do
they're
we
more
still-
expensive than they used to be, so they are.
Do
Yeah.
we still have landscaping guys in our backyard, or is that Royce's house?
That's me.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Iris
My
just
guy was
left.
out back all morning long. I don't know what they're blowing off back there.
Dude, I don't know what's going on over here. There's nonstop.
Trenton said, "Read it." Go back to Trenton's deal. I'll read it.
Aw.
Royce. Royce, you're
I
so
have to.
you're so cute.
He paid an extra $5.
It's not just his beautiful eye. It's not just his beautiful eyes. Look at those rosy red lips. He sure got a pretty mouth.
Don't say it.
L-O-L.
Why are you saying it like that?
Pilly Talk.
Feel like a pig.
All right. Where even was I?
I'll read it
This
6
one right
times
here.
for $5.
No.
Whitney said, "Thanks for the shout out, Rose City." Whitney is Christopher Blakeman's sister.
Okay.
She found it through Red Pill Threads. So thanks, Garrett. Rose
Boom.
City Comedy Club. And then
Very
Trent
fun.
said, "Read it." Just in case anyone missed it, watch my morning mumbles today. Emergency news about chickens and more DEI pilots and disgusting behavior from flight crew. Rochelle, gentlemen, as always. Love yous.
Yeah. The way I had to address the way that Trenton said this was 0 caps, no period, no exclamation mark is creepy.
It was very to the point.
He just said it so mono. Read it.
Read it.
You better read it.
Read it. You're going to read it.
No emotion.
I'm going to put it in front of your face and you're going to read it.
a
Let's
good
see. WatchChad.com is where all the fun stuff is. Hey, pop up redpills.com, redpillchad.com. I want to see if the new
got
shirt's
it.
up there. Pull it up there.
Oh, getting there. Let me
Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
refresh it, actually.
We've sold a lot of tickets.
Oh,
Let's see what it
I
looks
see
like.
a nice little shirt that just
See what it
popped
looks
up.
like. See how it looks. There it is. Look at that. Come on, pop on that sucker. See if you can zoom into that sucker. Look at that.
Look at that. Gulf of America.
The
The Gulf of America.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, good. Take me to the beach, Daddy. We're doing the Gulf of America comedy tour. We're picking out cities right now. We're going to do 12 cities. We were going to do 6. Now we're going to do 12. We've got.
Can you go to Mexico?
We got one picked out. We got one picked out that we're going to do in April. That'll be Panama City. We got a couple of them that we're working on though. Jesse Payton and I will be doing those. And I'm going to be in Texas City down at the High Horse Saloon Thursday night. Jesse's going to open for me. Going to do a little comedy, do a little music. Bringing our production crew down there. We're going to film a little bit of it. And then Friday night, Steve, we're in College Station at Stampede. We've sold a good number of tickets, both of those shows, so I'm excited about that. And then I'm at the Lincoln Reagan dinner, I guess, over in Cold Spring, Texas on Saturday.
One more.
Chickens are highly affected by the bird flu. The birds are not. There is not a lot to talk about the flu. Too much to
Maybe
text.
the other birds got their vaccines.
Yeah. There is
they're
a reason why chickens, pollo, to our friends down south, there is a reason why they are more susceptible to the flu.
Because they grow them off so fast, they don't have time to build up an immune system.
Well, that's
I mean,
true
you grow
too.
a full-grown chicken in 6 weeks.
I got too many jokes. People do take our jokes seriously sometimes.
I know.
I
Really?
love it. I love it. All right. Well, Royce, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this plane, man. This thing is wild to see just that metal tube on the
Stop
ground.
looking at the plane.
I'm looking over here at the Fox News. Just one wing is still
another
practically
one.
still on it.
Drummer for God.
Something that I'm not understanding is why they're pushing back on the Gulf of America when this entire half of the world is called the Americas. You're right. I mean, it
all
was sailed
inclusive.
upon by one Amerigo Vespucci. So yeah, I say, let's call it America, Gulf of America.
They
It's
did
Gulf
that
of America to me.
The Sea of Cortez.
But if you
That's
missed
Gulf of California.
if you missed the show this morning, Mexico is suing Google for changing the name on the map. That's going to go nowhere.
Is Google an American-owned company? We can do
Yeah.
whatever the hell we want.
They got a bigger
Except
GDP
for
than
say
Mexico.
stuff on YouTube, because then YouTube will take us down.
No.
Yeah. Let's see.
I wish we can do whatever.
Surely
we
I've never been taken down on YouTube.
That's crazy.
That's a good point. Yeah, I like reading some funny stuff. Anyway, all right, we got to get out of here. I'm just reading the other chats in there. All right, Party Foul
Chad's just
Steve, follow him
quiet
on there.
reading the chat.
On X at Royce Chamberlain. Follow me at
Yes.
Watch Chad. All the stuff.
Go follow me, except for Trent. This Trent guy, he can unfollow me. He can
Go over there
You
and look.
cannot
Pretty Mouth.
talk to me.
Pretty Mouth Trenton. Go
Trent,
over there
Trenton
and
can unfollow me and block me. Please do.
He's already got screenshots of your lips.
Oh, come on.
go over to my.
Email them
We just
to me later.
Royce's brother made a great little reel for me reacting to Kelsey this morning from the Dear America show. It's at the top of my Instagram page. Go over there and watch it. It's a pretty funny
it
reaction
pinned?
video.
It's pinned to the top. It's like
It's
your
not pinned to
favorite
the
thing?
top.
No, it's just the newest one.
It's just the newest one. Nothing's pinned. All right, we got to get out of here. I love you guys. What time is it? Boom, right on the hour. Well, 2:07. Come check us out, watchchad.com, and go over to redpillchad.com. Do a little shopping. Bounce around in there. There's some fun stuff. Some stuff will offend you on some of those other pages, and some on mine. That's okay. We're happy about it. Any last words, boys?
Don't talk about my
good.
lips.
All right, it's time to go.
DDDMMM.
It's time to go prepare a show for Dear America tomorrow morning. We are the pods that never sleep. We never sleep. I've been up since 2:30 this morning. All right, for Royce and for Party Foul Steve, I'm Chad Prather. We will see you tomorrow morning at 9, 8 Central on Dear America. We love you. God bless you. We'll talk to you then. Bye.